Okay, it's Caroline here, and I'd like to show you how I create the folded page for my mini book. So here is an example of one I've already folded. It springs open, as you can see, lots of lovely folds to fill with patterned paper. So I'm starting with a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. It's an old basil cardstock that I've had in my stash for years. First of all, I fold the cardstock in half diagonally. If you are using something like a textured cardstock, you want this fold to be so that the inside of the cardstock is inside the fold. I'm just using a bone folder here to just crease that a little bit tighter, and I will actually just fold it again and again so that it can open both ways. So rotating that, and I'm now folding it in half diagonally the other way, so this will leave this 12 by 12 sheet of paper with an X diagonally, well, just an X showing up in the centre of the sheet. So I'll open it up in a minute and you'll see what I mean. So the next move is that we want a half fold to go straight through the middle of that X, and this will give us our foundation. So this will give the paper the ability to spring. As you can see, it, those two pieces will fold in, and that will be the basis of our page. You could theoretically do a much bigger mini book and use this as your page, but I like to use a smaller size, and so that involves folding in those top corners. As I was working with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, the overall cover will be 6.5 squared, and so what you want to do is fold in the corners 3 inches down. So I'm just going to really struggle at the moment on my cutting mat to find that 3-inch place. Because I've already folded quite a few of these, I wasn't quite as precise with this one as I possibly have been with those other ones. Normally I was measuring and making a mark with a pencil and folding them in, but I felt quite confident at this point, so just folding those in just by eye once I'd measured the one at 3 inches. So folding with my thumb, I will go back in with that folder in a second to crease those a little bit tighter, but just showing you what that looks like. And then what the overall page will look like is that those corners will actually fold inwards, which will leave a kind of blunt, here we go. So that enables the page to fold down more tightly and gives us that full 12 by 12 sheet. So you'll see here, I've discovered that the best way of closing these once you've got lots of things stuck on them is actually to do a little twist, and I'll show that when I show you the completed book at the end of this video. So here I am just folding in the corners to create my page, and I'm going to have 3 pages, so 3 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock glued together. And what I actually do is I glue the edges so that I can, in between the pages is a pocket for additional photos, tags, hidden journaling, whatever you want to use it for. So I find it useful to just keep doing this, I'm just trimming off there, look, because as I said, I wasn't quite as precise with this one as I probably should have been. So I found that there was a little bit of an area that didn't fold together that I'd just missed with. I wasn't quite as precise as I should have been with my folds. So I'm going to be layering in two different colours with the 3 pages. So a kind of buff light grey, and then this darker green, which will go really well with the Wildflower collection that I will be using. And this is just to show you what it will look like. Once they're glued down, they will spring open. I thought it was probably easier to show you this mini book that I've done as part of the paper folds tutorial for the Traci Reed Design Team blog on a video rather than in photos, because it's difficult to see, or it's difficult for me to show in the photos just how beautiful it is and exactly what it looks like, and why I chose to do this project for the paper folds. So it's a lovely mini book. It has 3 pages made out of single sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock, and they are folded in a particular way that allows the pages to kind of spring open. So I'll show you that now. So everything in here is from the Wildflower collection from Traci. So that was her most recent collection. So I'll just untie this and hopefully you can see this on the screen. So I'm just going to have to hold it down and then this is what it looks like. So it springs open and I love it. I'm really, really happy with it. So this is documenting a day when my husband and I went into the Cotswolds and the Forest of Dean in search of some wells and springs. And I think the Wildflower collection was just perfect for that, really. Perfect for that kind of spring energy, out in nature, just kind of grounding out and having a good explore. So one of the great things with this style of mini book is you can actually create pockets between the pages, which I've done here, to add in extra pages, any hidden journaling that you might want to, extra photos, and any hidden journaling that you might want to do. And it also just adds to that texture to have those extra things. It's a bit tricky when you fold or kind of turn the pages. You have to be really careful if you do opt, like I do, for bits to pop up. You just have to check that as you're folding it, you just kind of do a little bit of a twist and it works really well. So that's the middle page. Again, all of these elements are from the Wildflower collection. Bit bent there. More hidden journaling in there and some extra photos. And then that twist to fold things down, and then the third page here. And this is a well that we found in the Forest of Dean. It was really, really gorgeous. Happened to visit it on the 2nd of April though, so I didn't venture in any deeper than just ankle deep. But you can actually go, you can submerge yourself completely in it. It's very cold. So I'm really, really happy with this. These papers are all from the collection as well, and the die cuts. So really, really pleased with how this turned out. It's not my normal style. Normally I work in a 6x8 album or a traveler's notebook size album. Sometimes I work on a 12x12 canvas, but not normally like this. So this really is more like a mini book, so I see each little section of the fold as a page on its own in the mini book. So I'm just going to twist that back in, and the cover is just again made with the collection, my favourite paper, the wood grain as always, and then these ribbons are sandwiched between the paper and the chipboard cover. And it's a bit chunky, but I love it. I really, really love it. So I sewed those border strips on, and I love to leave on all of the threads, just so that it just gives that messy look and that added texture. I think texture, whenever you can create it when you're working with printables, is really, really good. So really, really happy with how this turned out. I hope you like it. I love it. And I'll be happy to share the folds in my tutorial. I've got a video from earlier on that I'll tag on the front of this one, just showing how I created those folds. Okay, take care, bye.